Do you ever feel like you'll never make it through a class without falling asleep? Do you ever feel like you need just one more cup of coffee to help you through your night of studying? Well, if you felt that way, you're not alone. However, you may not know the effects the caffeine can have on your body. Today we're going to talk about the different effects the caffeine can have on your body systems. So, next time you step up to the counter at the coffee shop, think about what you order. If it's in the morning, you probably order a cup of coffee or tea. Also, you would probably have regular coffee rather than decaf, right? This is because your body needs the caffeine that is in the coffee in order to get started and wake up and have energy to start the day. I have personally experienced and researched the effects of caffeine on the body. According to Kovacs in an article called Caffeine from MedicineNet.com, it is stated that caffeine is the most commonly used psychoactive drug in the world. After consuming caffeine in any form, it takes the body about 30 to 45 minutes to completely absorb caffeine into your body's system. So after that's completely absorbed, then it circulates through almost all of the systems in your body, and we're going to focus on 3 of those today. But first we're going to talk about what caffeine is and what caffeine is in your daily diet. So many of you probably know that caffeine is in energy drinks. So the main purpose of an energy drink is to speed up your system and to give you a lot of energy. So there is large amounts of caffeine in an energy drink. Caffeine is also in coffee, teas, and soft drinks, but you probably knew that, and it's probably one of your main reasons for drinking those drinks in the first place. But something you may not know is that coffee is also in chocolate and candy bars. Not in as large amounts as in coffee and tea and soft drinks and those sorts of things, but it's still a large amount compared to everything else. Another thing that I didn't really think about caffeine being in is in over-the-counter medicines and pain reliever tablets such as Tylenol and that sort of thing. And this is an instance that the body really benefits from caffeine because of the relief that the pain reliever tablets give us and the energy and things like that. So now we're going to move on to the 3 systems that we're going to focus on today in your body that caffeine has an effect on. They're the nervous system, the cardiovascular system, and the urinary system. The first one we're going to talk about is the nervous system. In the nervous system, caffeine can overstimulate your nervous system at times. It can cause the messages in your nerves to be sent more quickly than if your body did not have caffeine in its system. It can also cause your body to not get proper amounts of sleep, good quality sleep, because caffeine can overstimulate your system and then you may not be able to fall asleep, or if you do, you may not have a deep, restful sleep. And also, in the cardiovascular system, caffeine can raise your blood pressure, it can quicken the circulation of your blood, and it can also cause a buildup of fatty acids in the blood, which can make the blood thicker and more sludgy, and that can also lead to blood clots in your cardiovascular system and your vessels, which that can become a great problem for your heart and your circulation. So that's probably one of the most negative effects of caffeine. And now onto the urinary system. The effects of caffeine on the urinary system are not quite understood. Caffeine mostly affects people who already have a disorder or problems with urinary frequency. According to the article called Effects of Caffeine on the Bladder from findarticles.com, it says that people who already show symptoms of urinary frequency report that the intake of coffee, tea, and soft drinks and that sort of things can increase their urinary frequency, but people without the urinary frequency problem normally do not have problems with caffeine. They can maybe have increased urinary frequency because of the intake of fluid and coffee and the drinks that they drink, but not necessarily because of the caffeine. And caffeine is also a diuretic, which a diuretic is something that causes increased urination, but it only acts as a diuretic if one has about 8 cups of coffee in one setting. So that's very unlikely that caffeine would have that effect on you, because there would not be very many times when you would have 8 cups of coffee in one setting. So now that you see all the effects of coffee that I've given you today, you have the choice whether you think coffee would be detrimental to your health or helpful, and it is, in both senses, it can be either way. The most negative effect would be one of the cardiovascular problems that I said earlier, but these are mainly only problems if you drink caffeine on a regular basis every day in your daily diet. But as for me, I think that I'm going to have a cup of coffee on special occasions.